Okay. All right. Well, welcome everybody. Dana, Sharon, and I are so excited that you are able to join us tonight. And I'm sure we have many moms and dads and educators on with us tonight. And we're excited to share some tips, ideas, and just different ways that we, as educators and as moms, are sharing our passion for kids and healthy living all at the same time. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen to go through a presentation with you guys. So all three of us are going to share. So there's our beginning of the teacher talk, and we're really going to focus on, how to feed the child and then fuel the teacher at the same time. So, it's a tough job throughout the day, and it's tough to go, from morning to the end of the school day, not only for us, but for the kids too. So we're going to talk about different ways that we're able to fuel ourselves as well as the kids. So I just love this quote. When I found it, I thought it fit perfect to really, our mission and our objective in teacher terms of what we're going to talk about tonight. So tell me and I forget, teach me and I remember, involve me and I learn. And I think that couldn't be more true to all that we're going to talk about today, as far as healthy living goes, and including our kids in how to lead that healthy life, because what they see us doing is what they're going to follow in doing, and they're our future. So, we all share that passion again for teaching, and, we went in that profession for a reason, and, involving our passion for healthy living just flows into that. And again, we'll talk about that as we continue. So if this isn't the striking reality of, America today, so we all lead these busy lives, and, we're constantly looking at the clock, constantly, setting alarms and rushing out the door. We got to go to, we got to catch the bus. We got to, go to soccer practice, and there's band practice, and we have all of these things on our schedule, and we just lead these busy lives. So, the first thing that kind of falls off is ourselves, and then, our health. Not only, what we're eating, but, our exercise, and just, taking that little kind of meditation time for us throughout the day. And that's so important. So we're going to share those easy, simple, and quick ways to just, offer you those tips on how to make sure and how to ensure that, you're fueling your body and getting what you need to last you throughout the day. So, if we're going to skip a meal, most likely it's going to be breakfast. It's like the easiest one to skip. And we wake up, usually we get ourselves ready for work, we get our kids ready for school, and sometimes it's the last thing on our mind. If the kids are running late, we shove them on the bus and they have to go. So we sometimes, forget to have breakfast. And, I know for myself that my kids don't eat lunch until 12:30 in the afternoon. So, imagine them waking up, not having anything for breakfast that morning, and then having to wait till 12:30 to eat their lunch. So, and here are just some, of the statistics of, those who skip breakfast. You're going to consume more sweets, so you're going to be craving those things. 55% more soft drinks, because you're going to be hungry. You're going to want that sugar, and that's what you're going to intake. Eating 45 fewer vegetables and 30% less fruit. So we all know that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. But again, I think it's the easiest one, for us to miss. And I actually have the opposite. I try to run out the door before my kids even get up. So I have to make sure that I have something quick and easy to grab. And then on the other end of things, here are the benefits of what eating breakfast can do. And, I don't know anybody that wouldn't want, these 5 to start their morning. So increasing your metabolism, maintaining or even just losing weight, enhancing your mood. Key as a teacher, we all want to be in a good mood. Stimulating the intelligence, and, not only for us, but our kids. So, I want my kids to start off that school day on the right foot. And if they're not eating, I know it right off the bat. Their head is down on their desk. They're not paying attention. They don't have a clear thinking, throughout the morning. So it's so obvious when they don't have those things to help them. And then obviously, like, enhancing the immune system. And we all know that going back to school means going back to germs, for the kids, for us, that, we want to build our immune systems so we don't catch every little germ that's on those doorknobs and on those desks and throughout those hallways. So, it's so important for us as teachers to be able to fuel our bodies. We have to, stand up there 6 hours a day and, really be on point with those kids. We don't get to, sit in a cubicle and kind of, if we're feeling down or we're just not feeling right, kind of hide it. So we got to, be up there front and center and really put on that show throughout the day. So I'm excited to hand it over to Dana because she's going to talk about some really quick and easy breakfast items, not only for yourself, but also for kids to grab in the morning. So when they're running late, they can just grab it and go and no worries. That they're fueling their body with what they need.
All right, thank you, Kirsten. Hi, everyone. I'm thrilled that you're all joining us tonight, and I'm excited to see you on here and share some healthy recipe ideas. I've always been one of those people that need to eat breakfast pretty much right after I get up, and I definitely like to have a lot of variety with my breakfast throughout the week. So now with 2 little ones and back to school schedules in full swing, morning can definitely be an adventure in our house. One of our go-to breakfasts is the Juice Plus Complete. I love it because it's a plant-based protein, and loading up on fiber and protein in the morning is really essential. So I typically eat breakfast around 5 a.m. and then I don't eat my lunch until 11:50 a.m., which is about 7 hours that I'm constantly going. So it's really important that I'm getting something that keeps me full and energized throughout the day. I definitely need that energy to make sure we're getting out the door and ensure that I can sustain that liveliness teaching, 19 5-year-olds throughout the morning. So quick, easy, nutritious, and filling is what we're aiming for here. So the Juice Plus Complete is an excellent shake mix that can be used in smoothies. And smoothies are really just a great way to get in that nutrition for yourself as well as kids. I like to hide a lot of the greens for my daughter, but I also like to put them in the smoothies myself. Some of my favorite smoothie recipes using the complete shake mix are the chocolate complete banana, peanut butter, coconut milk, and chia seeds. Or sometimes I just throw in a bunch of berries with spinach, add some milk, ice, and blend it up. I used to think smoothies were so much work, but now if I'm able to, I'll plan ahead, putting a bunch of frozen fruit in a freezer bag, freeze those bags for the week so that in the morning, all I have to do is take out that blender, dump in that fruit, and add the complete milk, and it takes about 30 seconds to blend. Especially in the morning, I can take it right out the door with me if we're running late and I have to be at school. Another thing that I also use the complete shake is overnight oats. Overnight oats are also awesome because you can prep them the night before. And it's fall right now, so I know all you pumpkin lovers are really excited. Here's a great recipe for these pumpkin overnight oats. And basically you just throw in all these ingredients in your mason jar the night before. You can put it right in the fridge, and in the morning you take it out. If you have time, you can heat it up, or you can just take it with you to go and eat it cold on the run. Again, this is really healthy. It works for us because it's so easy and you can just take it with you. Here are some more easy breakfast ideas coming up that we like to use in our house. Avocado toast. You just toast whatever English muffin. We like to use Ezekiel ones. Spread some avocado and take that with you. Smoothie bowls. If you have a little more time, just take that smoothie I was talking about before, and then you could add different toppings. My daughter really loves to add a lot of fruit and granola to her smoothie bowls. I like to do eggs on an English muffin, or just an English muffin with peanut butter, honey, some fresh fruit. If you have some extra time, we're school teachers, winter's coming up on those 2-hour delay mornings. You have some extra time, you can also make some Juice Plus pancakes, and that recipe is right there. Or like I said, the smoothie bowls too are also awesome. All of these recipes are going to be posted on that Facebook page, so you don't need to be writing them down right now. And I'm going to turn it back over to Kirsten, and she's going to give you some more ideas for some snacking and lunch.
Well, thank you, Dana. I think I might have to try some of those overnight oats, especially the pumpkin one. Well, before I get into some snack and lunch ideas, here's our striking reality. And, I don't think this is news really to anybody in, kind of where our health is heading, and really what we want to change is that, 90% of the food eaten in America is processed. So the next one, we live in a time where our children are more harmed by poor diet than exposure to drugs, alcohol, and tobacco combined, which is just mind-blowing to me. And that, experts agree 75% of diseases are preventable through good nutrition. And, I'm so glad I'm learning this, not only for myself, but for our future of children. So, we all, again, have that passion for teaching kids, and it really carries over into this too. Like, obviously I want to teach my own children and other children the importance of a healthy diet. So we don't eat enough fruits and vegetables. The majority of the US population consumes less than 1 cup of fruit and 1.5 cups of vegetables. And Jules had told me one time that they include ketchup in that vegetable statistic there, which is pretty scary that they have to, include that in how many vegetables we consume in a day. So, half the plate, fill half your plate with fruits and vegetables at every meal. And I know sometimes, it's easier said than done. And, that's kind of what we're talking about here today, those easy ways to prep the breakfast to get them those fruits and vegetables, and get ourselves those fruits and vegetables. Not even, just the kids sometimes. It's, fueling our own bodies. And the same with lunch. And today's watermelon contains 38% less vitamin A than that same watermelon in 1950. And the broccoli contains 48 milligrams of calcium as compared to 130 in 1950. And there are so many factors that play into that. And I'll kind of touch on that a little bit later. So here's our striking reality. This is an actual kindergartner's lunch. Has 37 grams of fat. Look at how many milligrams of sodium, and 46 grams of sugar. And the daily recommendation for children is less than 25 grams. So, that's crazy, but that's convenience right there for a lot of parents. And that's why a lot of our kids are eating those things. It's easy for them to buy a Lunchable. It's easy for them, to buy that processed food, because we can keep it in the pantry. We can, put it in a lunchbox and send them off real quick. So I love that we're able to share different ways on how we can incorporate other healthy alternatives instead. And here are 3 different tips for, lunchtime success. And I definitely have been using these now that I've been back to work. The first one is getting a lunchbox with those built-in compartments. And kids love these, and have them help you, to fill them. What do you want to put in this little compartment? How, can we cut out cute little shapes? I think they have cute little shapes of cheese there. We can cut out cute little shapes of watermelon or cantaloupe or different things in there. So have them do it with you. And it kind of goes back to that quote when I first started, about having them do it with you really teaches them those healthy habits. And that really leads into number 2 is take your children to the grocery store. I know, sometimes it's like a luxury to not take our kids to the grocery store, but, if they're able to help us, other than to pick out the cookies and the things they probably shouldn't, if we can teach them that, we'd rather get celery sticks than the crackers, and you can still dip it in peanut butter. You don't have to get the peanut butter filled crackers. We can, do this instead. So just those healthy alternatives to have them help you. And then in number 3, the prep. And I found that to be key. And I know Sharon had posted earlier in the week my prep from last week for work. And it's so easy. It just makes my life so much easier that I come home, I unpack, my mason jar from the night from that day, put in the new one, put it in the fridge, and it's ready to go for me to just grab the next morning. So preparation is key. And you can do the same thing with your kids' snacks. And I think snacks are just as important sometimes as the meal, because a lot of these kids are getting up really early. And Dana had even mentioned, she's getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning. That 7-hour stretch before she eats lunch is a really long time. So, you need to have a snack in there. And if you haven't made those apple sandwiches with the peanut butter and the chocolate chips, you've got to make those. Or down below, the peanut butter balls. And, like Dana said, we'll include a recipe for cookie dough balls and peanut butter balls in the Teacher Talk Facebook group. And then over there are some other ideas that you can use. And I had a student this week who brought in 7 bags of Pop Rocks for her snack. So I'm thinking one of two things. Either one, her mom didn't know that she brought them, or two, her mom already dislikes me and thought that it would be good for her to bring in those Pop Rocks so she could act like a maniac for the rest of the day. So, you know, as much as it hyped her up, totally hyped her up, you know, she had that crash then in the afternoon. So come lunchtime, she had a bellyache and she completely crashed. And I get so many kids with like bags of Doritos or just, you know, those processed foods. And again, I know sometimes it's the easiest thing for them to grab, but, you know, I always make sure that in the center of either the island or the kitchen table that I have fruit out, because if they see it, they'll eat it. And if it's easy for them to grab that, you know, off the table before they go out the door, they're going to take it with them. Or even using the baby carrots or cutting up celery sticks, cucumbers to put in I buy the little Ziploc snack bags, and just to fill those on a Sunday before the beginning of the week. And they're just, you know, they open the fridge, they grab it, and they can go. So really quick, easy ideas that might take a couple minutes, you know, on a Sunday night to prep, but it's just so worth it in the end of the week. And it really keeps their focus. Again, you know, as a teacher standing there in that classroom, I can tell by the end of the day, my kids are done. And I don't think a lot of it, you know, has to do with that they didn't sleep well the night before, or, you know, things going on at home. Those could be factors as well. But I think a lot of it is their diet. They just don't have, you know, that consistency in, you know, making sure that they have proteins to really, you know, keep their blood sugars steady throughout the day, that they don't have, you know, those highs and lows from sugars. So it's just amazing to not only be able to see it firsthand, but then to, you know, realize it and then be able to teach it and then show different ways on how we can do that. So, which leads me to another way that, you know, I fuel my body as well as even, you know, my children and how other children can, is through Juice Plus, because we're not getting those fruits and vegetables that we need. We're not getting those 9 to 13 servings on a daily basis to help fuel our body. So there's not an easier way that you could get a fruit, veggie, berry, whole foods in your body than through, you know, Juice Plus. And, you know, it says right there, the list of things goes on and on, you know, 30 whole foods, food label, phytonutrients, non-GMO, dairy-free, gluten-free, third-party assurance. So, you know, it's being verified that, you know, this stuff is the real deal. And then obviously the clinical research is amazing on, you know, what it can do for you and the positive benefits that it's really shown. So I'm going to shoot it over to Sharon now, who's going to talk a little bit more about what she's seen as, you know, she was able to transition her family into, you know, where they were to where they are now today.
Yes, well, thank goodness for Juice Plus. You know, my family started on it, well, what was my family? It wasn't my whole family at that time, but 17 years ago, we started on Juice Plus, and I was a rundown guidance counselor. Didn't really know that wasn't normal until I had Vitality later after taking Juice Plus. You know, it's a great way to get raw fruits and vegetables into your body, a whole variety from the reds to the purples every single day. And what your habits are is what really is going to determine how you feel, how you are later in life. And so I'm so glad that I've been able to flood my body with this 30 different fruits and vegetables every single day for 17 years. I think it's made a huge difference. And what I was fueling my body with was sugar, sugar, sugar. That's how I got through graduate school a couple times, actually. M&Ms, Coca-Cola, fast food, all those things. So I was not a perfect eater. This was a great solution for me. It made a huge difference. And what it was a catalyst for a lot of changes that I made in my diet. And if you look at the picture, you'll be able to see my before picture when I was at that high school guidance office. eating anything and everything that would come along. I always say I had about 3 breakfasts at the guidance office. I'd have one at home, I'd have one on the way, and then I'd have one when I got there, because there was always food available there. And then it was always about, when am I going to eat my next meal? It just seemed like everything was centered around that. Poor teachers, they don't have that luxury. But being in an office, it's a lot easier to do that. But I have to say, as a guidance counselor, I was very surprised with the high school students. I'd say, where's your lunch? Because they would be drinking a Gatorade, or maybe they would have a bag of chips, or it'd be very minimal what they would want to eat. And they would never want to bring their lunch because they were embarrassed. They would be embarrassed to bring, a bag or a lunch box or anything like that. So to get those high school students to really actually eat lunch, I think it really starts from the beginning for them to really want that feeling of fueling their bodies. So what happened in my family, if you see the top picture, that was when I was really unhealthy. I knew nothing about what to feed that baby while I was pregnant. That's the book that kind of haunted me. It said what to expect when you're expecting. And in that book, it has a best odds diet. And I knew nothing about it. I didn't know what bran was. I didn't know what brown eggs were. I didn't know what omega-3s were. It was before the internet. Sorry, guys. I know you guys all know that. But I just didn't even know. And so I did the best I could. But it wasn't until Juice Plus came along, and that was for my second baby, which isn't pictured here, that I really was able to use Juice Plus as my prenatal. And then on my third baby, which is pictured at the bottom picture, baby Emma, I really had made a lot of other simple changes. And the catalyst, though, was getting that nutrition in me through Juice Plus, because once you get that nutrition in you from raw fruits and vegetables every day, it's just like juicing. It's based on the juicing concept. It then leads to lots of other simple changes, and you crave more fruits and vegetables. And so it really just kind of got our family on a better start. And that bottom picture was when I was 40, at a time when OBGYNs are like, no, you should not be pregnant. And that's what mine pretty much said. And I was all excited. I was like, I'm healthier than ever. And he's like, but your eggs are still 40 years old. I'm like, listen, buddy, I made a lot of good changes. I'm a lot healthier now. And I had a healthy baby girl. And you'll see her, I think, on the next picture. And so the other tool that I love to use with our family is the Juice Plus Complete Shake. The Juice Plus provides micronutrients, vitamins, minerals, enzymes, and it's a nice chewable. But the shake is a great way to start the day. And Dana did a great job of explaining what the shake is. And it has complex carbohydrates, plant proteins. Dr. William Sears, who's called America's Pediatrician, says it's one of the healthiest meals you can have in a day. It's a brainy breakfast. So I have used this with my children for the last 17 years. And it's really, like Kirsten said, a great way to jumpstart your metabolism for people who want to lose weight. I say, you know what, are you eating breakfast? Because that's one of the first things that they say, well, I drink my coffee and then I might have breakfast, or, a couple hours later. I say, no, bathroom, then blender. Go right to the blender and start that metabolism, because you have to break the fast. So it's been great for us. But also great for the kids. Even if they had something else for breakfast, I would make sure they had that smoothie, because it is one of the healthiest meals you can have in a day. So that was one thing. And then chia seeds and flax seeds. I was like, oh my gosh, through this community, I finally learned some really good tools to get better nutrition into my kids' diet. So by the time Emma came along, if you go to the next slide, she was like, where I did the best, because over time I learned more and more. And so I learned that avocados are like such a great thing to feed your babies, feed yourself, feed your kids. And so I was giving her like an avocado every single day. And she is just my test subject of you can shape young tastes. And, my other kids have been on Juice Plus for a long time, and they've received, a lot of the good whole foods. That's what you want to do, is whole foods as much as possible instead of packaged or processed foods. And they all eat really well. But it was like with Emma, I was like, okay, every day she's going to get this, this, and this. And she got so much more whole foods in her diet. So avocado was one. And now she'll eat anything from like chickpeas just out of a can, black beans out of a can. as you see, the edamame or avocado, and she craves those. She loves those. So it's really important to shape those young tastes even before they get to elementary, but even during elementary, and then that will make them want that for high school, you know? And so just a funny thing, you know, when I would send her to the babysitter would be like, what is this? Because I'd send like a can of black beans, I'd send an apple, I'd send a baked potato, an avocado. She'd be like, okay, what am I supposed to do with this? She's going to see the other kids eating chicken nuggets and French fries. I'm like, I'm sorry, but this is whole foods. This is what she will eat, and she does. So just keep that in mind. As much as you can go back to what the whole food is, that's what you want to really try to feed them. And if you go to the next slide, Dr. William Sears says, raise a grazer. You know, they can just kind of graze on whole foods all day. So he encourages us to use a snack tray like this. And so for the whole family, it's great to cut things up, put it in a tray if you want to, put it on the counter for sure, because that's what's going to make everybody pass by that counter and just grab things, you know, as they go. And so it's been fun to be able to do that with the kids. And with that, I want to just assure you that as you take Juice Plus, you're going to crave more fruits and vegetables, as you'll see in the Children's Health Study next. Our children are getting Juice Plus for free, ages 4 through 18, and also undergraduate and college. There's 1 million children getting Juice Plus worldwide. We're in over 20 countries. And one of the main things that they've found, and what I've seen in my own family and many other families that I've been able to help, is that children do crave more fruits and vegetables, even children with spectrum disorders, where they really just love chicken nuggets, French fries, bananas, things like that are carb, you know, like carbs. And so what you do is you get it in them either through the chewables or the capsules, and you even can open the capsules. You can even refrigerate the chewables if they have a sensory issue. And that really makes them broaden their horizon as far as eating more fruits and vegetables that they didn't eat before. So they find that in the Children's Health Study. They find less doctor visits. And I've found that with my own family. For me, my allergies went away. My bumps on my arms went away. I wasn't as tired. My kids, they really don't go to the doctor for a sick hair visit. For the most part, and, you know, just stitches and broken bones, you know, when those things happen. But just keeping them really, really healthy by infusing Juice Plus, and then they will crave more fruits and vegetables. So anyway, then the parents miss less work, which is a plus, obviously, and the kids miss less time away from school. So anyway, it's been really great to see kids really thriving. I work with a pediatrician, and she calls me with kids that need help. And it's just really sad when the parents are frustrated and at a loss of what to do about their children. And they keep going back to the doctor's office. And a lot of times they just get a new antibiotic and they don't really get to the root of the problem. But my pediatrician, she's like, the buck stops here. And she recommends Juice Plus. She recommends a probiotic, and actually she recommends going off dairy too, which is a whole nother talk. But anyway, those few things. And our company is interested in the health of the children. Not only are they giving free Juice Plus, they're actually giving free tower gardens into the Boys and Girls Clubs across America. So that's another way in which our company really gives back. Tower gardens are part of what we do. We help teach children to be able to love fruits and vegetables and herbs by growing their own. It's a great way for them to just really get into it and eat off of the tower garden. Talk about grazing, you know. And so a lot of times teachers, if they want this in their classroom, they just need to go to their assistant principal or principal and say, you know what, have you seen this tower garden thing? It's a very innovative way to grow. It's just water at the bottom with nutrients. There's a pump. It's electric. It's a pump that makes water and tonics shower the roots, and then it aeroponically and hydroponically grows. And we can always send you information on that if you want to approach your principal at your school. But it's being implemented in a lot of classrooms, not just the Boys and Girls Club, but elementary, high school, middle school, and the kids love it. Even culinary programs that are in the different schools or the Boys and Girls Clubs are using it. And so that's been a wonderful thing that we've added to the Juice Plus company. We have the Juice Plus, micronutrients in the capsules and chewables. We have the complete shake, which is a healthy meal or a supplement to a meal. And then we have the Tower Garden. And all three of those are an attempt to help bridge that nutritional whole food gap that many of us are missing.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Sharon. And, just on behalf of Sharon, Dana, and I, we just want to thank everybody for being able to join us tonight. And we hope that you found, a lot of the information to be very helpful. Again, whether you're a parent, whether you're an educator, hopefully you got some ideas on how to, prep those easy breakfast items or snacks or lunches, and really turning the health of not only ourselves but our kids in our everyday busy lives, and really feeding those children and fueling ourselves to get through the day. So thank you guys again. I don't know if we want to take any questions, or if anybody has anything that they would like to share. Sharon, I don't know if everybody's on mute.
Yes, I'll go ahead and turn off the recording, and you can stop screen sharing and we can do that.